Hey, 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 scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a 9x12 pocket process video, and I'm going to be using the 9x12 pockets that have the 3x3 squares. I stole all of these photos off of my son's Instagram. He was playing in Snapchat and posted all of these in sort of a series on his Instagram, so like any good mother would, I stole them and I picked my favorites. And the problem I had, and I really put off this layout for a long time, because the problem that I had was that first of all, they're screenshots of the originals, so that's low quality. They're taken in the dark, so that's low quality. They are Snapchat photos, which are also sort of low quality to begin with. So I had a bunch of like fuzzy, grainy, dark sort of photos that were not inspiring me. But one day in my scrap room, I decided I was going to tackle a few of the pages that were not inspiring me and get them done. So what I decided to do for this one was pull a bunch of products from my stash that I felt like I had been putting off, neglecting, sort of avoiding using, maybe sort of like Adele Inky Quill grab 5 sort of situation. I just grabbed a bunch of things that don't necessarily go together and thought I would make a page out of them. So the papers that I use to create the cards are actually from Cocoa Daisy, surprise, surprise. These are from the January collection that I loved so much, and I chose these papers specifically because they are so light and airy. I thought that they would brighten up these photos a bit just by using them as a base. So I cut a bunch of 3x3 squares out of the 6x8 papers, and then now I'm backing them all, and I decided that to even further mitigate the darkness, that for some of these I would add a little sort of photo corners. Not all of the photos get them, but the ones that have like empty extra open space got them, and I really like the way that that changed up the whole vibe of the spread, so that everything sort of looks cohesive and a little bit brighter and lighter and like a good base to start adding things to. So here's all of the cards ready to go. And now I can start adding things on. I thought about maybe adding another photo corner, decided not to. So I'm going to start, first of all, I'm going to rearrange these photos like 1,800 times, just so you know. And I'm going to add photo corners, even when I say I'm not going to. I don't know, I'm just kind of trying to figure things out here. But I rearranged these photos about 1,000,000 times throughout this video to make it work. Sometimes it felt a little heavier, darker, and the ones that were similar I wanted to have separated and not in a row. So that's kind of just my thought process as I go through. So I have this set of Cocoa Daisy word strips just hanging out in my stash that I kind of want to use up and get rid of, so I'm pulling a bunch of them off. Then I have these Amy Tangerine sticker books as well. This is a set of stickers from the Cocoa Daisy collection that the papers came out of. It's like they're planner stickers, so I'm just pulling some stars and hearts off of this to use. Trying to use that up as well. Seeing what I can pull off of here. So these Amy Tangerine sticker books I've had forever. So I decided I'm going to use some of these titles, like these word strips. Not strips, but they're like clear word sticker bits. So I add 2 of them on that fit perfectly. That cute orange matches the orange on that card. I looked through a few more, thought about adding this one, but I didn't know what I would do with it. It's like a banner. So I'm just going through trying to use things up, really. I don't think I used much off of this one, just some hearts. Do you have products in your stash that sort of confound you even though you love them? That's where I'm at with this video. Trying to use the things that sort of confound me. So these are some word strips from Pretty Little Studio, I believe. They came in a Cocoa Daisy collection. I'm going to use some of these as well because they're going to add some color to this spread that's sort of monotone, black and white. Not black and white, but like very watercolory, monotone feeling. So I'm going to use them to bring in some pops of color. Plus there's some cute word strips that match the vibe of the whole thing. Of course I pull out 3. One of them's black, but it's okay. I know I want to lighten up this whole spread, but I couldn't not use this one. I was thinking about maybe making the title of this spread, It's a Vibe, which is some slang that's popular right now. So that's why I brought in that Feel the Vibe. But I end up using that Pieces of Your Life word bubble from Ali Edwards. And I'm going through my Ali Edwards stash right now because a lot of these products that are left over confound me. So those are from the Pieces collection. And I'm also going to bring in those gold mirrored sunburst things from, I don't even remember what collection they're from, but they have been hanging out in my stash forever because I cannot figure out how to use them effectively. And I end up using 2 on this spread, which makes me so happy because I have not been able to manage to fit them in. So I'm just kind of pulling out randomness from this bag. So now I've sort of got some embellishments to work with. So I'm going to start putting everything down, making my layers work. This is where I'm going to add some journaling. And then this ends up being the title, and I'm going to layer this little stripy thought bubble over it just to make some fun layers. Yay for 2 of those gold sunbursts being used. Hooray! Cork heart, of course. I'm going to put it above this yellow word bit. I decided to cut this out with my circle punch to make it its own little embellishment that'll go off of the edge. It was like a 2x2, I believe, so I didn't really have a pocket that card would fit in, so the 2x2 got cut off and turned into a half circle. Getting close to done here, I decided to pull in, well, first of all, I'm going to try and make this big sunburst thing fit, but I didn't love the way that this cute hung off the edge, so it did not work. And I didn't really want to fight with it too much. So I decided to bring in some enamel dots and some arrows also from the January collection, so they sort of matched already. I'm not sure which collection these dots are from, but they match, so they go on. So I'm just going to decorate the rest of this spread with some arrows and some dots, and for pulling together a bunch of products and embellishments that don't go together, I actually really love how this turned out. It came out fun and playful, like the photos. Makes the whole thing more interesting than the photos were by themselves. And so I really kind of dig the way that this turned out, which is good because I was not inspired to scrapbook these photos forever, and now they are done, they're out of my hair, and I can move on to photos that do inspire me a little bit more. So I'm going to rearrange these about 100,000 times and call it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you, and I will see you next time. Alright, thank you!